Tea Squad, it's your girl Kirsty, and welcome back to Dropping the Tea, the podcast where we don't just spill the tea, we serve it piping hot. And today, we're going deep. I'm talking 27 years cold, turned red hot with justice. Buckle up, because this episode is all about the long unsolved and finally cracked case of Donna Oglive, a 24-year-old woman whose 1,998 murder in Toronto haunted investigators for decades until science and perseverance delivered the answers. Let's break it all down. Donna was a beautiful 24-year-old woman from the Philippines, living in British Columbia. She was a mother of 1 and 4 months pregnant with her second child. In early 1998, she was visiting Toronto, standing just 5'5", with shoulder-length black hair and a striking sense of style. On the night of her murder, she was wearing a light gray fur coat, a black miniskirt, and high-heeled white boots. Donna was working in the sex trade at the time, an industry that, especially in the 92nd, left many women vulnerable and unsupported. Sadly, she became one of several sex workers in Toronto targeted during a dark period of violent crimes that remained unsolved for years. On the 8th of March, 1998, around 7:12 a.m., Donna's body was discovered in a parking lot behind 130 Carlton Street. The autopsy confirmed strangulation. She was pregnant, young, and unprotected, and her death rocked her family and the community. Despite the police recovering male DNA from the scene, the case went cold. For 27 years, her family lived with grief, pain, and no answers. Toronto's Homicide and Missing Persons Unit never gave up. They kept revisiting the case. In 2019, they even put out a YouTube video, and in 2021, featured Donna's case on their podcast. They were determined to find justice, and in 2022, things started to shift. That's when forensic genetic genealogy came into play. And if that sounds fancy, it's because it is. Enter Othram, a forensic lab in Texas with serious DNA game. Using samples collected back in 1998, they created a super detailed genetic profile, ran it through genealogical databases, and boom, the leads started flowing. By tracing family trees, they zeroed in on Ronald Gordon Ackerman, a 50-year-old man from Newfoundland who had never been on the radar before. He had lived in Scarborough at the time of the murder and was working as a truck driver. When arrested in 2025, he was flying regularly to Alberta for oil work, and he was about to fly under the radar again until the Toronto police caught him just after midnight at Pearson Airport. That's right, on the 6th of February 2025, Ackerman was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Ackerman is currently in custody and awaiting trial, but the investigation isn't over. Police are now looking into his past 2 decades to see if he may be linked to other crimes. Detective Sergeant Steve Smith said it best. Anybody that committed sexual assault or homicide in the past 40 or 50 years, if they're still alive, should expect a knock at their door. Let that sink in. Media outlets like CBC News, Global News, and even People.com covered the case. The public was shocked. But for many, especially advocates for sex workers, this is a reminder of how long justice can take, and how crucial it is to never stop fighting for the voiceless. One article called Donna, "Far from the stereotyped drug-addled prostitute, she was a mother, a daughter, a woman with a life that deserved more." Thanks to modern science and relentless police work, her killer is finally facing the consequences. Tea Squad, this one hits deep. Justice took nearly 3 decades, but it came. And Donna Oglive's name is now tied to one of the most remarkable cold case breakthroughs in Canadian history. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment, share this episode, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Every click helps us grow and keep the truth flowing. Until next time, keep your mugs full and your minds sharp. This is Kirsty, and you've been dropping the tea.